Top 15 Dynasty rookie wide receiver rankings ahead of the NFL draft, which is less than 1 week away. On that note, I am thrilled to announce I am offering your own highly customized Dynasty Psych Eval for your team, for your Dynasty rosters. You get a custom, highly personalized eval page, plus an in-depth, long-form video breaking down each player, each pick that you have, the league mates that you are competing against. Form in the description, linked below. Let's get into this. Kicking off tier 1 for me, there is only one, Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, to me, after further review, it was unsure whether he was going to be really this fantasy viable player as a guy who's playing both ways. He's going to be a corner primarily. He's going to go to the Cleveland Browns. He will be primarily a wide receiver. That is huge. Travis Hunter, what do I prefer in a wide receiver? What do I see as far as receivers that dominate the dynasty landscape year in, year out? It's guys that have juice, quick twitch, suddenness to how they move, intensity. The trending comp for a Travis Hunter is a 1.85 Chad Johnson, and it makes sense. I mean, they're not the bulkiest, they're 6 foot change, a little bit thin of a frame, but nonetheless physical at the catch point, making contested catches, incredible ball skills. Travis Hunter, for me, this is a guy who really challenges for a top 12, a wide receiver 1 in Dynasty valuation after a season that could very well generate a Garrett Wilson-esque 100 catches, give or take, 1,000-yard season in which he's contending for an offensive rookie of the year, where he is now in play to be a top 24 overall player in Dynasty as far as startup value, not a fringe top 24 wide receiver 2 where he's currently being valued right now. I do not have concerns that he's going to be a Cleveland Brown as far as the quarterback situation. We've seen it before with a guy like, a Malik Neighbors. You have talent that will shine and prevail. Travis Hunter, to me, even if it's 5 snaps, let's say 5 pass attempts that he's not on the field for, on a per game average, 32 pass attempts he is on the field for a game on a Browns team that has an OC that just got promoted from being a pass game specialist, a team that just threw the ball the most attempts, the most times a game last year. They're not going to be a powerhouse all of a sudden. They're certainly going to need to be throwing the ball. And Travis Hunter, in and around 25% target share, 8 a game, I am happy staking a bet in the form of a top 3 rookie pick on a guy like Travis Hunter to be a difference maker for your dynasty team. Tier 2, for me, this is a group of 4 where sticking to the true definition of a tier, in my view, is the idea that I understand any preference, any order of these 4 guys that you might have, that you prefer. Measuring this tier specifically, we move outside of a 103. Honestly, I can understand the bet making a 102 selection on a Travis Hunter. These are guys to me that are going to be right in the thick of it, in the mix for a 106, the mid-first of your rookie drafts. Wide receiver 2 for me, it's Luther Burden. Luther Burden III for me out of Missouri. This is a guy that I see him for what he has done, the body of work in his college career. I'm not dwelling too much on this past season. A weird year for Mizzou as a whole, that offense. I'm looking at Luther Burden, what he did as a sophomore against the likes of a Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, in the same field, in the same game. He arguably looked the best receiver. When I think about what I'm looking for, what I see as success in the NFL, success in fantasy football, it's a guy who can line up in the slot, dominate within the slot, agility, certainly no slouch speed-wise, quick area movements, make you miss ability, broken tackles, get you after the catch, yardage, routinely, play after play. Let's see where he goes on draft night. Does he maybe sneak into early day 2? For me, that's not a major concern. If anything, we see a guy like a Lad McConkey go early day 2 in a great situation, And all of a sudden, he proves to be a top 3 receiver in an incredible stacked class. Outside of Travis Hunter, for me, this core tier 2 group of 4 is similar to a couple drafts ago where you're looking at top 20 as a sweet spot for where they get drafted. If 1 or 2 go significantly higher and the landing spot is quite attractive, then that changes things for me. But right now, viewing these guys in the same light, for me, it's Luther Burden, number 1. It's T-Mac, number 2. Tet McMillan, there has been a wide range of opinion, a lot of polarization around the discourse of this player. I like him. I do. I prefer a couple guys more, preference with quick twitch, sudden movements, but don't get me wrong. T-Mac can go up there, get the ball out of pretty much anywhere, can be a threat in the red zone, can be a quarterback's best friend early and often in the NFL. I'm not quite there with, oh, he's just Drake London. Caution a little bit there. Nonetheless, T-Mac is a guy that is going to be well worth taking a swing in your mid-first, potentially higher. We'll see what happens with the NFL draft. I want to make it clear. I am not a fixed person in how I view things, my mindset. I am open to be determined. But right now, for me, T-Mac pre-draft, wide receiver 3. Wide receiver 4, Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden, look, you can go on record on this channel approaching almost a year ago, about 10, 11 months, I called a shot with Matthew Golden as one of my wide receiver sleepers for the 2025 NFL draft. Work out, honestly, more than I even anticipated. I saw him, I said, look, he's on track to be a round 2 pick. He's on track to be potentially a top 12 pick. You see a common projection to the Cowboys with the 12th pick, with the Matthew Golden there, staying in state, either slot or outside. He has certainly got that suddenness, the twitch to his game, physical, through contact, through elite defensive backs. With Golden, you look at how he's dominated the combine. The pre-draft rise has been immense, and rightfully so. Power to him, for good reason. This is a guy that I see as, along with the other guys in this tier, mid-first round rookie picks, but I see potential to be top 15 type of dynasty wide receivers. Emeka Egbuka, a guy who's dominated from the slot as well. He's been a little bit of a victim of the Ohio State wide receiver room success as a whole the last several seasons. You go back multiple years ago when he truly had his quote-unquote most productive season. Emeka Egbuka, and this is a guy who, you want to talk about floor, I think he's really right up there with anybody. I understand if you have him as the wide receiver 2 in this class. Has some juice, not quite as elite speed-wise as some other guys, but is a technician with his routes, could very well be the most productive from the jump. Let me know what you guys think of this tier 2 in the comments. Where would you be comfortable drafting these guys? But this is my conviction right now, pre-draft. Let me know yours. Tier 3, an extremely jumbled range of 7 guys that I see as being second-round picks in rookie drafts, guys that I see as going on day 2 of the NFL draft on Friday, and are very much subject to spot, opportunity, guys that I totally understand your relative preference. Where I view them right now, it starts with an Iowa State duo, but specifically it's Jalen Knoll for me as wide receiver 6. This is a guy that just has a game that translates to the NFL. You look at the incredible combine performance he put on display, dating back, Senior Bowl, a guy I mentioned as one to watch at the wide receiver position in Mobile. He has quick, easy releases, quick, easy separation ability, physical, compact build, a guy who could just explode onto the scene and be one of the best values in all of this wide receiver class. When it's all said and done, I can see it with a Jalen Knoll. Some smoke about, does he sneak in around 1? I think top 40 is certainly where he projects to be. Top 12 pick in rookie drafts, I could see it. His teammate, Jaden Higgins. Talk about differences physically. We're talking about an outside guy in Jaden Higgins, huge, who has some suddenness to his routes, where I've ranked him relative to some other guys in this tier, is indicative of that. His movement skills, his ability to completely dominate in the red zone. I could see a Jaden Higgins leading all rookies in receiving touchdowns. That is very projectable for my money. Jaden Higgins, another guy who could be in that top 40 mix for anyone who's looking for an outside receiver. Certainly your cup of tea. Well warranting a top 7 ranking in a good receiver class. It's not great compared to last year, for example, as prospects at this juncture in the year. But let's remind ourselves, the average number of day 2 wide receivers, we're talking double digits. All these guys, all 7, are in contention firmly to be day 2 picks. Intriguing shots to take in your rookie drafts in the second round, top 24, top 20 potentially. No doubts about it. Maybe I'm going out on a little bit of a limb here with Jalen Royals out of Utah State here, wide receiver 8 for me. But then again, I don't think it is. When you watch the tape, when you watch his movement skills to win inside, outside, to make contested catches, to get after the catch yards, has dealt with injuries, unfortunately, so haven't quite seen consistent health. Hopefully, he's been really able to get his body right. I'd love to see him go middle day 2, top 50, top 64, end of the second. Some team trades up for him. Maybe it's the Patriots, Panthers. I could see Jalen Royals being quite a value for you in your mid, potentially late second if your league mates are sleeping on him a little bit just because, he's a Utah State, a Mountain West guy. Don't sleep on a small school that is a big talent. Similar case to be made with Kyle Williams. Transferred from UNLV at Wazoo. Kyle Williams, man, you look at separation ability, the twitch over the middle in his routes. This is the profile that I like. This is why I've positioned my rankings this way. Certainly on the smaller size-wise, height isn't an issue, but LBs, hand size, maybe some left to be desired, but you really don't have too much left to be desired. If we're talking about fantasy football, ability to rack up catches, to rack up big plays down the field, cannot wait to see where he goes. Is well worth a second round pick in your rookie drafts, as is a Jack Besh. Big slot guy, physical, another Senior Bowl guy that has just overcome so much, resilient, Senior Bowl MVP. It just seems like if there's anybody to root for, it's got to be Jack Besh, man. LSU transfer from Louisiana, an absolute dude. You want to put him inside, outside? Be my guest. Plenty good enough athlete. The movement for his size, certainly above average. Certainly on track to be a day 2 pick. A big physical and after the catch type of guy. Could see as high as, wide receiver 6 off the board. Love me some Jack Besh. Alec Ayomanor. I didn't expect to be maybe this high on Alec Ayomanor. A guy, again, who's got size, ability to get some separation. I was pleasantly surprised on tape. You look at his ability to dominate a handful of games. You look at how he fared against Travis Hunter. Put the game on his shoulders. I love Alec Ayomanor's upside. Let's see where he goes in the NFL draft. He could be a potential late second steal in rookie drafts. I've positioned him in this tier 3 because I understand if you are as high as a wide receiver 6. Trevor Sikkema, shout out NFL SC. The route running has some refinement, the physicality, a little bit of drops, wanting more at times, but has shown the ability to take over, to make massive game-winning plays. Trey Harris, a guy that maybe I expected to be a little bit higher. There's a lot of production against not very good at all, really not true Division I programs. Dealt with injury a lot of last year as well. And honestly, I'll put my hand up, where I maybe thought it was very much him driving things to a degree in that Ole Miss system with a Jackson Dart. I've maybe shifted a little bit in acknowledging Jackson Dart's primary role to play compared to my previous thoughts and assessments with how dominant a Trey Harris was. Again, including him in this tier, I understand if you are high on Trey Harris, you look at the ball skills, you look at the production, you look at for his size, some after the catch ability. Just not the cleanest separator, but nonetheless, Trey Harris firmly in day 2 mix, firmly in second round rookie draft conversations. Rounding out the top 15 in tier 4, for me, it's a trio of guys that I like quite a bit, that have maybe for one reason or another fallen behind the wayside, but I am closely monitoring. Could be maybe day 2 picks, but if day 3, these are priorities for me. Starting with Xavier Restrepo out of Miami, a slot receiver who I will prioritize in the 3rd round, potentially higher. There's a couple wild cards, which we'll get into, with 1 Xavier Restrepo and 2 Tez Johnson within this tier. Restrepo, the craftiness, I trust in his ability to win as a route runner in the NFL. The long speed, the 4.8 at the 40, hamstring issues, tightness, that affected him on the day of testing there down in Miami's pro day. Reportedly had been doing 4.5s consistently. What I know is not fabricated is Xavier Restrepo's ability to win from the slot down after down. Plays with a physicality to his game. Uber productive there with Cam Ward, and I mentioned a wild card being Cam Ward because does a Cam Ward to the Titans, number 1 overall, end up having a bit of a part to play in getting his guy late day 2, early day 3? If that happens, we're talking about Xavier Restrepo as a possible 2nd round pick easily. We've seen in recent years a guy like a CJ Stroud be clear that he made a bit of a case as the draft went on for a Tank Dell. A 1 Tank Dell who Tez Johnson has drawn comparisons to physically, maybe even slightly smaller Tez Johnson is compared to a Tank Dell. But in terms of the ability to absolutely make you miss, look silly, separate, I'm not going to shy away from Tez Johnson and what he's shown, the ability to produce as well as anybody in all of college football the last couple seasons, with his brother Bo Nix, with Dylan Gabriel this past season. Wild card being Bo Nix. Does he get to Denver? That's something that could make a difference in how you view and how you rank and how you draft a guy like Tez Johnson. The 4.55, ultimate shocker. But you look at the 3-cone, best by far, elite 3-cone. And that type of agility, that short area quickness, that's what I prioritize. That's what I want to look for in a receiver in projecting their ability for fantasy out of the slot to win at the next level. And for Tez Johnson, for the rail thin 150 and change that he weighs, there's tape of him constantly putting his body out there on the line in the run game, physical blocking, but down the field as well. If he runs into a bit of a wall, there's examples of him showing an ability to continue to fight through it. And with the modern NFL, with the quarterback play that he is hopefully set to receive at the next level, guys that constantly extend plays, Tez Johnson, a heck of a value in your rookie draft. And then Torrey Horton out of Colorado State, a guy that unfortunately had a major injury, but is seemingly recovered from that fully, or mostly, at the combine, running quite the 40 for his size. This is a guy in Torrey Horton that, again, mentioning some Colorado tape, going up against Travis Hunter, similar to an Alec Manor. Talk about for his size, the ability to make you miss, to work across the middle of the field, to win downfield as well. There's clip making rounds on X about he beat Will Johnson, the arguable number 1 corner in this draft out of Michigan. One of the only touchdowns that Will Johnson's allowed in his whole college football career. Torrey Horton, really intrigued to see where he ends up, where he goes. Does a team take a shot on him in day 2? I could absolutely see it. Absolutely see it. We'll see what the exact landing spot is and go from there in assessing the opportunity that he could get. Don't sleep on him. Let me know what you guys think of these top 15 rankings. Let me know your biggest discrepancies, your favorite receivers in this class, your sleepers, and secure your Dynasty Psych Eval today. Link in the description, guys. We're coming in hot with the rankings content, with the draft content. Cannot wait. Have a great weekend, guys. See you soon.